Hey guys, Kyle the Death Knight of Anime here, bringing you my review for Dragon Ball Super Episode 101. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm sort of on a mix. I sort of had a lot of mixed feelings on this episode because a lot of it was good, considering a lot of it was focusing on our two favorite feet. Our two favorite, on the two favorite Saiyans of Universe 6, Caulifla and Kale. And we see that Kale finally got control of her power in this episode. But the downside of that is it did come at the cost of losing a lot of the pride. In the end result of Kale gaining control of her power without without losing it, without losing control, without going on berserk mode. It, like I said, it did come at the cost of losing a lot of the Pride Trooper members, but at least we can take comfort in the fact that, well, not only the kill not only the kill not get wiped, get taken out of the tournament, because I think it is still I think it was still way a lot early. I think it was still we still had a long way. It still would have been a little too early for her to get eliminated, but. On top, but it's just seeing Kale get control of her power is just it also is just a good step for her as a character, and honestly, it gives me hope that Universe 6 will survive this, because while I'm indifferent towards some of the team members, I still love the three Saiyans that they got on the team and Hit. As far as Botamo goes, he can go fuck himself. But yeah, you get the idea. Like, I'm just glad that we get to see Kale. We of course we get to see Kale finally in control of her power, and I know that there are going to be thing about Kale getting control of her power. I know that there are going to be a lot of people who are probably going to call bullshit on it, but in a way, I'm completely. I'm fine with it in a way, because if you really stop and think about it, pretty much as far as the whole setup goes of Kale learning to control her power, I was fine with it, because honestly, like, the setup of Kale getting angry enough in order to control her power, unlimited power, finally was of course the Caulifla was basically holding back the Pride Troopers, and honestly, that whole shit of the Pride Troopers of Caulifla going up against the Pride Troopers, that actually had a lot of reminiscent feelings of when Master Roshi was of course, and that was basically was ended up going up against King Piccolo. Like, there was a lot of reminiscent feels of that particular fight to me. In this particular fight of Caulifla and going up against Pride Troopers, well, of course, Kale just ended up sitting back and watching. Of course, in this case, no one actually ended up dying. No one ended up dying, luckily. But yeah, it is very similar to that, and I think that's kind of the reason as to why I can accept, like, what kind of happened with as how Kale managed to control her powers, because in the end she finally understood that Caulifla was not gonna abandon her, and that Caulifla loves Kale, and I guess while I'm talking about this, it does kind of sound really fairy tale-ish, but to me, it's fine, because we do know that of course that finding a desire and a need in becoming a Super Saiyan is part of was of course was one of the things that was set up in the lore, and I think. And I could say that Kale's desires is of course is to be strong as her master. So to be as strong as her master, and we all know that Kale is way stronger than, I love Caulifla, but we all know that Kale is way stronger than her. Like, when especially now that she has final control of her power, and yeah, like I said, this whole thing with Kale controlling her power at last, it gives me hope that Universe 6 is going to survive this. So yeah, there's that too. So I can't be mad at it too much. Now, actually, I want to talk about the Tri-Troops themselves, because honestly, I chalk their defeat up to two single factors: overconfidence and desperation. even before the tournament began, I feel Universe 11, like I'm not talking about just the Pride Troopers, because the Pride Troopers actually I think were the only ones who really felt any sense of were the ones that covered the desperation factor. But I feel that Universe 11 themselves, like the God of Destruction and the Supreme Kai of Universe 11, they were the ones who were just kind of saying, oh, we have the strongest warriors, we have the strongest. So I think because that they naturally assumed that on the overconfidence level, I feel that they naturally assumed that the Pride Troopers would have been strong enough, and they didn't factor in that the Pride Troopers could, in fact, there was a possibility of them losing. Was a possibility of them losing at all. I think that I like how like, again, it is a tricky situation, because it does with the Pride Troopers, it does kind of be iffy, because it shows that maybe that a lot of them aren't as strong as we pegged them out to be. But I think just the fact that we did see them go in honestly, for that they are still strong, I think. But I feel Universe 11 was just way too overconfident and putting and just over thinking that, yes, we have the strongest warriors in the Pride Troopers. The Pride Troopers can win anything, but hey, look what happens, dumbasses. And as far as the Pride Troopers go, I'm a little more forgiving of them because I think they covered like the second factor of why they lost, which is desperation. Um, and the thing about that desperation is that the desperation part goes because I feel the Pride Troopers themselves, they had a very grounded perception on the whole stakes, a lot more on like on what the threat of the tournament being eliminated in the tournament meant. But I think that in a way that whole cautionary attitude, it also proved to be their downfall, because desperation in desperation in desperate times, people can make a lot of fucking mistakes. Like they can let their guard down. They can easily trip up on something or anything like that. And the Pride Troopers, even though they did have the resolve in order to fight, and even though the Pride Troopers do have the resolve to fight and protect their universe, they are doing a lot of this out of desperation, I feel, and just they are losing that a lot of. I feel that they weren't a lot of the times that they weren't even really thinking clearly, They were just fighting because we have to start this. We have to survive this. But yeah, it is funny how these two factors were really actually played in the Pride Troopers. In the Pride Troopers' downfall, if you, in a lot of, but of course that doesn't mean the Pride Troopers themselves are taken out completely yet, because we still got Topo, and we still our favorite one of all, who's been teased constantly in the intro, Jiren, and we know the fight between Goku and Jiren is going to be fucking hyped. And that's another thing I think I'm really kind of finding as funny is that they keep teasing us over and over with this fight of Goku and Jiren, but again, I don't think it's going to happen until the whole ending with, until the final. Until one of the climax parts of the tournament arc. I don't think, that it's one of the big fights. So I think they're gonna save it for last, save the best part for last, kind of thing, and that fight's gonna be fucking insane. And another thing that was funny about the Pride Troopers for me is that a lot of people have been saying for a while that the Pride Troopers have this sort of Ginyu Force feel, and while I have gotten a bit of that feeling as well from them every once in a while, I definitely got it when they started fucking posing. When those motherfuckers were posing, I was like, yo. that was totally Ginyu Force out there. Like, Jesus Christ. But, it's like, that whole thing with the Pride Troopers posing, that was totally Ginyu Force. And it is Toriyama, so I'm not surprised, to be honest with you. Oh, and hell, I guess if I did have any real, well, like I said, I'm kind of in the middle, but with the Pride Troopers thing. But if there's one thing I would say I do have against this fucking episode is the scene with Roshi is the scene when we see Roshi and Tien going up against a fighter of Universe 10. Now, the Roshi and Tien, what they were doing there, that shit was badass. But like I said, I was enjoying the Roshi and Tien fight, Tien going in, until I realized the fighter that they took out was from Universe 10. Raymouche, so far you have proven to be a major, as far as all the gods of destruction go, you have proven to be a major fuck up. Seriously, your universe is on the fucking line, dumbass, and you decided to get these crusties in the ring. Like I understand that the trying, I understand that the show is trying to show that that pretty much that no one is of course safe in this tournament, but still. It's like, really, Universe 10 is just taking a fucking beating right now, and I'm like, damn it. Like, yeah, Universe 10, I won't be surprised if they're the next ones to get eliminated, to be honest with you, at the rate things are going with those guys. But the funny thing about that, I will admit, is seeing Frieza and Vegeta fight over who had dibs on another one of the Universe 10 fighters. That was actually kind of funny. It was brief, but it was very comical. I'm not gonna lie, and it is kind like I still don't trust Frieza as far as I can throw him, but it is good to know that they are using Frieza for some kind of comedic relief bits, I guess. Which I never thought I'd ever say those words. Frieza being used in comics comedic situations. Jeez, Dragon Ball Super, everyone. But. Yeah, it's that was just an insane episode. Yeah, that was just kind of funny, to be honest with you. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much all I have. Oh yeah, actually, one more thing I want to talk about. That ending, the part where we see that I think it's that where we see that silhouette of that woman. That woman on top of that cliffside or whatever, looking down on Goku and Goku and the androids and whatnot. I think that's pretty much a teaser that we are going to get. That we are going to get a pretty soon an episode that is going to be focused on Vegeta this time, on Vegeta next time, I think, because if you've seen what. Because if I remember correctly from the previous episodes of the universes just gathering their team members together, I believe that woman is in fact the girl who can transform into that big I guess fat alien or whatnot, and we do see Vegeta facing. And we do see Vegeta facing that fat alien girl in the intro. So, yeah, if that is the girl I'm thinking of, then we are gonna see Vegeta go in. And I honestly I love seeing that all these characters are getting spotlight, but I want to see Vegeta get his spotlight. Like we have seen him get his spotlight with Goku and a lot of other characters, but I just want to see him get some solo spotlight finally. Like seriously, give Vegeta his moment. Give Vegeta his moment, Toei and Toriyama. We want to see Vegeta go in, please. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much my review of Dragon Ball Super episode 101. A good episode for what it was. I'm sure there are people who are going to have problems with it. I thought when you kind of rationalize the problems you might have with this episode, it is actually an extremely good episode because at the core of it, we definitely get to see Kale again. Get to see Kale control her power, and hey, I'd rather have Kale see Kale get some progression than anything else. So I'll take it. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, or follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Death Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.